Hey everyone, welcome back to the Easy English Room podcast. I'm Henry, and honestly, it's really great to have you here with us again today. It always means a lot to us when you choose to spend your time learning English with us. Whether you're listening from London like us or tuning in from somewhere else in the world, maybe from a busy city or a quiet town, we really appreciate you taking the time to learn with us and improve your English step by step, little by little, in a way that feels comfortable for you.
And I'm Emma. Hello, everyone. We're genuinely happy you've decided to join us today. It really makes a difference knowing that people from different places are listening and learning with us. Maybe you're on your way to work, sitting on a bus or a train. Maybe you're relaxing at home with a cup of tea, or even just taking a short break during your day. But wherever you are, we hope this episode makes your learning experience a bit easier, a bit smoother, and a lot more enjoyable and relaxed.
All right, Emma. Let me start with a quick question, and I want you to be completely honest. How good are you at small talk? You know, those short, casual conversations you have when you're waiting somewhere, like in a queue, or when you meet someone new for the first time and you don't really know them yet.
Oh, that's a really good question. Well, to be honest, small talk and I don't always get along very well. Sometimes it goes smoothly and feels natural, but other times it feels a bit awkward and uncomfortable. Like just the other day, someone asked me, "How's your weekend going?" And instead of giving a simple and normal answer, I said, "Good, but I burned my toast this morning." And then there was this pause, a really long, slightly uncomfortable silence, and they just looked at me like I had said something really serious or emotional, instead of something simple and light.
That's actually quite funny, but also very relatable at the same time. I think we've all had moments like that where we say something a bit unexpected. I remember once I tried to start a conversation in a shop, and I asked someone, "Do you think carrots or broccoli are better for soup?" And they just looked at me, paused for a second, and said, "I don't cook," and then walked away. So yeah, definitely not my best small talk moment, and I remember feeling a bit awkward after that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's really the thing. Small talk can feel uncomfortable at first. But when you really think about it, it's not about being perfect or using difficult vocabulary. It's really just about starting a connection with another person, even if it's a very small one.
It doesn't need to be impressive, it just needs to be friendly and simple.
That's such an important point. I remember once I started talking to someone about how much we both loved rainy days in London. Just a simple comment about the weather. And what started as a very small and simple conversation slowly turned into a really nice, longer chat. And eventually, we actually became friends.
I love that example. It really shows that small talk isn't about saying something amazing or clever, it's about being friendly, open, and willing to talk. Even a short conversation can make someone feel comfortable, create a positive moment, or even lead to something bigger like a friendship.
Oh, and before we continue, just a quick reminder. We've prepared a free PDF for this episode to help you practice and remember everything more easily.
Yes, and it's really helpful. It includes all the questions, answers, useful phrases, and tips we'll talk about today, so you can review them later, take your time with them, and practice at your own pace whenever it's convenient for you.
You can find it in the description below, so make sure to download it, keep it with you, maybe even review it more than once. And now, let's get started with today's topic and explore how to make small talk easier and more natural.
All right, so let's begin with the basics. Before we go deeper into tips and examples, it's important to understand one simple thing first. What exactly is small talk? And what do people really mean when they use this expression in everyday conversations?
Well, in simple terms, small talk is light, easy conversation. It's the kind of talking you do with people you don't know them very well yet, or when you're just starting to build a connection. It's usually simple, relaxed, and doesn't require too much thinking or effort.
Right, and it's not about serious or deep topics like politics, personal problems, or anything too emotional. Instead, it's about being friendly, polite, and helping the other person feel comfortable in that moment, even if the conversation is very short.
Exactly. You could think of small talk as a longer version of saying hello. It's like a small step after greeting someone. It helps both people relax, feel at ease, and shows that you're open to having a conversation, even if it's just for a few minutes.
And the main goal is to find something you both can talk about, something simple that you have in common. It could be a shared interest, like a hobby, a place you've both visited, something happening around you, or even just your opinion about the weather or the day.
That's true. And here's a helpful way to think about it. Imagine you're a detective, but in a friendly and polite way. You ask simple, easy questions, not to investigate seriously, but just to discover what the other person likes or is interested in.
Yeah, and once you find something in common, even something small, the conversation starts to flow more naturally. You don't have to force it or think too hard about what to say next. It just becomes easier step by step.
Exactly. And actually, most small talk conversations are based on a few simple and very common topics that people use all the time in daily life.
Right, things like work, travel, food, daily life, and of course, the weather, which is probably one of the most popular small talk topics, especially in places like the UK.
And here's the really good news. Around 90 to 95% of small talk is about these familiar topics. So if you practice and feel comfortable talking about them, you'll almost always have something ready to say in most situations.
It's like having a conversation guide ready in your mind, something you can always use when you're not sure how to start or continue talking.
Exactly. And the best part is these topics are easy to prepare for. You don't need special knowledge, difficult ideas, or advanced vocabulary. Just simple words, simple questions, and a friendly attitude are more than enough.
Now, to keep things clear and not too overwhelming, today we're going to focus on two main topics: work and travel. These are two of the most common and useful topics in small talk, and you'll find yourself using them in many real-life situations.
And don't worry, we'll talk about food, life, and the weather in part 2 of this series. So if you don't hear your favorite topic today, it's coming very soon in the next episode.
That way, we can keep this episode simple and easy to follow, without making it too long or complicated. We want you to feel comfortable and not overwhelmed while learning.
And by the way, if you enjoy this episode and want to see part 2, make sure to like, share, and leave a comment. It really helps us know what you like.
Your feedback really helps us understand what you enjoy and what you want to learn next, so we can create better content for you in the future.
All right, now let's move on to the fun part, questions and answers for small talk, where you can really start practicing.
And remember, don't just listen passively. Try to repeat these examples out loud, practice them, and adapt them to your own life and personal experiences. Think of them as templates or models that you can use to start conversations, respond naturally, or even keep a conversation going with more confidence.
All right, we'll start with work-related questions because this is one of the most common topics people use when they meet someone new, especially in professional or casual situations. And don't worry if you feel unsure at first. We'll give you simple, clear examples with natural answers, and you can slowly build your confidence step by step.
Exactly. By the way, work-related questions are one of the easiest and most common ways to begin a conversation. Almost everyone can say something about what they do or what they study.
Yeah, that's true. And even if you don't have a job yet, you can always talk about your studies, your plans, or even what you'd like to do in the future. The key thing is to keep it light, positive, and easy to follow.
Right, Emma. So now let's go through 15 common small talk questions about work, and we'll give you answers you can learn from and adapt to your own situation.
Hello, I'm Maya.
Hello, Maya. I am David.
What do you do for a living, David?
I'm a graphic designer. I mainly create logos and design websites for different businesses. It's quite creative, and I get to work on a variety of projects, which keeps things interesting.
That sounds interesting. Do you enjoy your job?
Yes, I really do. It allows me to be creative, and I also get to collaborate with some really talented people. That makes a big difference for me.
That's nice to hear. What's the best part of your job?
I'd say the best part is seeing my ideas come to life. When a client is happy with the final design, it feels really rewarding and satisfying.
That must feel amazing. What's the most challenging part of your work?
Well, sometimes deadlines can be quite stressful, especially when there are multiple projects at the same time. But over time, I've learned how to manage my schedule better.
I see. That can be stressful. How long have you been in this role?
I've been working as a graphic designer for about 5 years now, so I've gained quite a bit of experience along the way.
That's a good amount of experience. Did you always want to do this job?
Not really, to be honest. At first, I wanted to become a teacher, but later on I discovered my passion for art and design, and everything changed from there.
Oh, that's interesting. What's a typical day at work like for you?
Usually, I start my day by checking emails and planning my tasks. Then I spend most of my time working on design projects, and later in the day, I often have meetings with my team.
That sounds well organized. Are you working on any exciting projects right now?
Yes, actually. I'm currently designing a website for a nonprofit organization. It's really meaningful work, and I feel like I'm contributing to something important.
That's really inspiring. Do you prefer working alone or in a team?
I think both have their advantages. I enjoy working with a team because we can share ideas, but I also need some quiet time to focus on my own tasks.
That makes sense. What skills do you need for your job?
You definitely need creativity, attention to detail, and good communication skills. Being able to understand what the client wants is also very important.
Those are important skills. What's your dream job?
I'd love to be a travel photographer one day. It would be amazing to combine my passion for photography with exploring new places around the world.
That sounds like a dream. Do you work from home or in the office?
Mostly from home, which is quite convenient. But I still go to the office a few times a month for meetings and team collaboration.
That's very convenient. How do you relax after work?
I usually go for a walk, especially here in London, or I spend some time painting. It really helps me clear my mind and relax.
That sounds relaxing. What advice would you give someone starting in your field?
I'd say keep learning and don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's honestly how you improve and grow over time.
That's great advice. What's your favorite memory from work?
I remember one time, a client loved my design so much that they sent me a thank you letter along with flowers. That really meant a lot to me.
That's such a lovely memory.
All right, now let's move on to travel, which is such a fun and engaging topic that many people enjoy talking about in different situations. It's one of those topics that can easily start a conversation and keep it going, because almost everyone has something to share about it, whether it's a real experience or just a dream.
Yes, definitely. People love talking about places they've visited, places they want to visit, or even places they dream of going to one day. It's also interesting to hear different perspectives because everyone experiences travel in their own unique way, and that makes conversations more exciting and fun.
And even if you haven't traveled much, that's completely okay. You can still talk about your future plans, your favorite types of trips, or even small experiences like a short visit or a local trip. Sometimes even a simple day trip can give you something meaningful to talk about and share with others.
Exactly. Travel is a great way to connect with people, share experiences, and discover common interests in a very natural and enjoyable way. It also helps you learn more about different cultures, traditions, and ways of life, which makes conversations even more interesting and meaningful.
Have you traveled anywhere recently?
Yes, I actually went to the mountains last weekend. It was really peaceful and refreshing, and it felt like a perfect escape from my daily routine. I really needed that kind of quiet and fresh air after a busy and stressful week at work, so it helped me relax a lot.
That sounds really relaxing and refreshing. I can imagine how nice it must have felt to disconnect for a while. What's your favorite place you visited? I'm always curious to know which place leaves the strongest impression on people.
I'd say Italy. I absolutely loved it. The food was incredible, and every meal felt like a special experience. The history was fascinating, and I really enjoyed visiting old buildings and learning about the culture. The art was just beautiful everywhere you looked, and it made the whole trip feel very rich and inspiring.
That sounds like an amazing experience. Italy really seems like a place full of culture and beauty. Do you prefer the beach or the mountains? It's always interesting how people have different preferences when it comes to relaxing places.
I prefer the beach, to be honest. I really enjoy listening to the sound of the waves and feeling the calm atmosphere around me. There's something very peaceful about sitting by the sea and just relaxing under the sun, especially when the weather is nice and warm.
That makes sense. The beach can be very calming and peaceful. It's a great way to relax and clear your mind. What's your dream travel destination? I love hearing about places people dream of visiting one day.
I'd love to visit Japan during cherry blossom season. It looks so beautiful and peaceful in the pictures I've seen, and the atmosphere seems very special. It's definitely on my list, and I hope I can experience it in real life one day.
That sounds like a dream indeed. Japan during that season must be absolutely beautiful. Do you enjoy traveling alone or with others? I think both options can offer very different experiences.
I prefer traveling with friends. It's just more fun when you can share the experience and enjoy moments together. Creating memories with others makes the trip feel more special, and you always have someone to talk to and laugh with.
That's true. Sharing moments with friends can make any trip more enjoyable and memorable. Have you ever had a funny or unusual travel experience? I always enjoy hearing those unexpected travel stories.
Yes, actually, I once got lost in a small town in Spain, and at first I felt a bit confused and worried. But then a kind stranger helped me find my way, and we even ended up having coffee together. It was unexpected, but really nice, and it turned into a memorable experience.
Wow, that turned into a really nice story in the end. Sometimes unexpected moments become the best memories. What do you usually pack when you travel? I think everyone has their own style when it comes to packing.
I always take my camera because I love capturing special moments and beautiful places. I also bring a good book to read during quiet times and some snacks for the journey. I like to be prepared for different situations, but at the same time, I try not to carry too many things.
That sounds like a very smart way to pack. Prepared, but still simple. Do you enjoy trying local food when you travel? For many people, food is a big part of the travel experience.
Absolutely. That's one of my favorite parts of traveling because it allows me to experience the culture in a different way. I still remember the street food I tried in Thailand. It was amazing, full of flavor, and very different from what I usually eat.
That sounds delicious. Trying new food can really make a trip more exciting and memorable. What's the longest trip you've ever taken? Long trips usually come with a lot of great experiences.
I once spent 2 weeks traveling around Europe. It was such a great experience because I got to visit different countries and see many beautiful places. Every day felt different, and I learned a lot from the whole journey.
That must have been an incredible experience, visiting so many places in one trip. What do you usually do during long flights or train rides? Those moments can sometimes feel long and tiring.
I usually watch movies or listen to podcasts to keep myself entertained. It helps pass the time and makes the journey feel shorter. Sometimes I also relax and just enjoy the quiet time.
That's a great way to stay entertained during long journeys. It really helps the time go by faster. Have you ever planned a trip that didn't go as expected? I think that happens to many travelers at some point.
Yes, I once forgot to check the weather before traveling, and I ended up in a rainy city without an umbrella. It was a bit uncomfortable and inconvenient, but it also taught me an important lesson to always prepare better next time.
That's definitely a lesson learned. Sometimes small mistakes can teach us a lot. What's the best souvenir you've ever brought back? Souvenirs can carry very special memories.
I brought back a hand-painted plate from Morocco. It's really beautiful and full of colors, and every time I see it, it reminds me of that trip and the wonderful time I had there.
That sounds like a very meaningful souvenir. It's nice to have something that keeps the memory alive. Do you prefer short weekend trips or long vacations? Both can be enjoyable in different ways.
I actually prefer short trips. They're easier to plan and don't require too much preparation. They feel like little adventures that give me a break without too much stress or pressure.
That makes sense. Short trips can be simple and refreshing. What's one travel tip you'd give to others? I think people always appreciate useful advice.
I'd say always pack light because it makes traveling so much easier. You don't have to worry about carrying heavy bags, and it gives you more freedom to move around comfortably.
That's really helpful advice. Traveling light can make a big difference. Have you ever visited a place you didn't expect to like? Sometimes those surprises are the best part of traveling.
Yes, I once visited a small village in Scotland and didn't expect much from it at first, but it turned out to be really charming, with beautiful scenery and very friendly people. It ended up being one of the most pleasant surprises I've had while traveling.
All right, let's start wrapping things up. We've covered a lot of useful ideas today, and we hope you found them simple, practical, and easy to follow in your daily conversations.
We really hope this episode helped you feel more comfortable with small talk. The goal is to make you feel more confident when starting or continuing conversations in English, even in simple, everyday situations.
Remember, small talk is a skill, and like any skill, it improves with practice. The more you try, the more natural it will feel, and over time, you'll notice real progress in your speaking ability.
Use the examples we shared, adapt them to your life, and keep practicing regularly. Try using them with friends, classmates, or even by yourself to build confidence step by step.
And don't forget to download the free PDF. It includes all the key phrases, examples, and expressions from this episode so you can review them anytime and practice at your own pace.
Also, if you enjoyed this episode, like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss part 2. We have more useful topics and conversations coming that will help you continue improving your English.
We'd love to hear from you. Tell us your favorite small talk topic or a fun conversation you've had. Your experiences can inspire others and help build a supportive learning community.
Thanks for joining us today on Easy English Room. We really appreciate your time, and we're happy to be part of your English learning journey.
Until next time, keep practicing, keep smiling, and keep improving your English. Remember, every small step you take brings you closer to fluency.
See you soon, take care, and don't forget to enjoy the process of learning and speaking English every day.